Okay, in this video we're installing the rest of the Expel Armour tailgate trim. So on the truck right now we have it on the lip just here. The purpose of this kit is to run it up the sides and across the top. Now in reality you're probably not loading your truck from the side, so it's much more of an aesthetic match that we're going for in this case rather than protection, but of course it does offer protection as well. The trim around the truck bed is pretty scratch prone, it's pretty weak, so this kind of gives you the benefit of a spray-on liner, but it's just peel and stick basically. So in the kit you get a squeegee, of course, you get this piece here which runs across the top just behind the sunroof at the top of the bed, and we'll install this from inside the bed. And then you have the two side pieces. These are the same, except this is the left side piece because it has the control panel cut out here. The only thing you need to do in terms of prep is to clean the area. So I'm going to use some isopropyl alcohol to clean it. And this is really mostly just to kind of strip the plastic of any waxes that you may have put on there from trim treatment like Armor All or some of the chemical guys stuff. They're all typically oil based to kind of lift the black out of the plastic. So we're just going to strip that to make sure we get good adhesion. With that said, let's get started on the left side. Alright, so you can see that I've laid out the three pieces kind of as they fit onto the truck. As mentioned, the first thing I'm going to do is clean the area with some isoprop. You can use really anything, even a mild soap solution. The main point is to cut any grease or oils on here, so soap or isoprop does a great job of that. So I'm just going to do that really quick. This is already pretty clean, so I don't need to try too hard, but obviously be a little more thorough. This material, because it's so thick, it has a texture. It's not like smooth vinyl where every little imperfection under the surface shows up, like a pea in the princess's bed. So it's not too bad, but still you want to make sure the area is clean. And then with that, you'll see I'm wearing some goofy glasses, so I'm going to try and get you the bird's eye view as well. So if you get a little seasick, apologies, but let me just move this around a little bit. So we're going to start on this bottom end, and then we'll make our way up, and we'll just kind of steer it with our hand as we go. So I'm going to get my little stand so I need to be directly down over the top of this so I can see as it lines up around each of the two cutouts for the crossbars, and then of course the control panel on this left side. So peel it back. My hands are clean, make sure yours are. Be a little careful because we've got these little skinny sections. And I'm just going to roll it underneath itself. And then we're going to start. So the first place I'm looking, and this is where these little metal glasses come really handy, is on this corner here. So I'm just going to sort of lay it there. And then if you've got everything in the right spot, then everything else just kind of fits, right? So you can hopefully see there's a small radius on all of these edges. So we want to be beyond that, because if we try and roll this over the edge, then it's not going to stay stuck and things will get underneath it. So we're just inside this edge, we're just inside this edge, and then on this edge it's actually a less of a radius, but we're just inside this as well, and this surround is good. This is important. This is, positioning wise, this is the most important thing. Just like when you're laying a laminate flooring, building a brick wall, that foundation layer is important. So we're going to get this fixed with my squeegee. We'll come back to the rollover at the end because that's not difficult. And then all we're going to do is just kind of peel this back underneath itself. Just go a little further. And then this piece we kind of want to just lift that up a little bit. We're going to kind of steer this as we go. There's a certain amount of give and take in it, and it's kind of a big awkward piece. So we're going to, looking at this top line now. So we want to make sure we're tracking. Now don't trust the stainless steel because it's not necessarily straight. So we really do want to just keep an eye on the edge of the actual plastic trim. But as you can see, that's pretty good as well. These little bubbles and stuff we'll take care of at the end. We're not going to worry about that for now. Going to peel back a little bit more. Unstick it from itself. And again, I'm using my left hand just to sort of steer everything as we go. And I am pulling on it just to kind of get a tiny bit of tension. We're not stretching it though, and you won't be able to stretch it really. But it just helps with the application. If you've got some tension on it, it minimises the chance of bubbles being underneath. I have some though, and that's no big deal. Okay. Moving along. Probably just going to let this piece go. Put that over there for now. We'll come back to these button inserts. So let me just lift this end. Back to where we were. Let's get that set right. Okay. Squeeze that down. We're going to come back down the trim. And then if you see any bubbles like this one here, you can peel it back if you need to. I don't think we're going to need to for that one. We're just going to squeegee it out, bring this down, and then kind of the last piece. So here, kind of like when we did this, if you watched that video, you just want to roll this over with the palm of your hand a little bit to kind of really get a good crease on it, and then give it a little pull and put it into place. So you can see, you know, the trim line, of course, matches perfectly. That's the intent. And then all the cutouts are good too. So the last thing we need to do is just put the armor trim on these, and then we'll be done. Okay, so here's the, peel that off. And there you go. Okay, left side done. We'll move over to the right side, and then we'll do this back piece from the truck bed. Okay, I'll go through this side a little quicker because you obviously get the idea now. Just a couple of reminders. Make sure the trim is really clean or free of any oils or waxy residue. This side's obviously the same as the other side, except for the missing control panel right here. So one less sort of alignment point to worry about, but we're going to start the same way. We'll start at the end. Actually, I'll be over this side so I can look down on it. And as always, we want to be looking down on it to get the alignment right. So let's peel this back. It's about there. Roll it under. And I'm looking at the same spots as before. So getting this corner looking really good. Oops. And as you can see, if you need to peel it back, just peel it back. Don't be shy. Okay, so looking good here, and here, which means that it's going to be looking good here. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to keep working my way up. I'm going to be guiding the vinyl. It will try and drift if you let it. So as you can see, way off. So we need to peel this back. Get that out of the way. Just bring it back to where it needs to be. And just gently sort of steer it a little bit so it's falling into the right spot. When we design these pieces, it's all done with vinyl, so we know the cut is good, and we know that if it just lays there by itself, it's going to lay in the right spot. But there's just so many factors fighting against you with this, so that's why we sort of want to steer it as we go. But the beauty of this product is just peel it off and go again if you need to. I'm going. See, that all works out lovely. If you see any bubbles as you're going and they're not near the edge, so you're not going to be able to work them out, just work them out with your hand, grab the squeegee. And on this side and on that side, I was a little rapid with doing the squeegeeing, so you take your time. You're kind of going to go up and down and then left and right as well. Just move my stand. keep going. Okay, don't forget about the two pieces on there, which we'll do in a sec. Then looking at this edge up here. Looking good. And then same thing up here. I guess let me pull this back. So you can see there's this little detail, I suppose, in the trim. So we don't want to try and ride this over the top of that. So we just took the little corner out. So it just sits perfectly inside of that. Grab the squeegee again. If you hear, I've got no good examples, but if you hear a clicking as you're doing this, that means there's trapped air. So, you know, it's trying to stick and then it's popping up again because of the air. That's not going to go away. So you need to track that down, peel back the armor, wherever that is, and take care of it now, because that's only going to get worse as it goes through heat cycles, being outside, whether it's getting cold or hot, but especially when it gets hot. And then these fit pretty well perfectly. We have to have borders on some of this stuff, but this completely covers the blanking plate, I guess it is. So put one on there, and then find the other one. I'm going to come back, look over the top of it. And because these are cut within the same piece of film, you know, the texture, such as it is, matches perfectly as well, so that's pretty important. And then for this bit, as always, just give it a pull. Run your palm of your hand across there if it's not complying too well, if it's not so warm where you're doing the install, and then just roll it over. So that's the quick way of doing it. As I mentioned, be sure to squeegee much more thoroughly than I am. You want to cover every square inch of the install to make sure there's no trapped air. If you come out tomorrow and see you've got a bunch of bubbles, again, don't worry about it, just peel back nearest the trapped air, release it, put it back down. If the armor isn't being that compliant, you can heat it gently with a hairdryer. If you do that, as you peel it back, you may stretch it, so heat it again with a hairdryer before you put it back down. That will reset the shape because it has a memory effect, and then you can just lay this back down. Okay, we'll do this top piece last. Okay, last section, this top piece, we're going to do it from the bed of the truck because it's so easy to get to from up here. Again, clean it down. Clean the edge of the glass as well, just in case you happen to contact that when you're applying the armor. Can't do much about that, that's from the factory, whatever that is, glue or resin, it's lovely. That part of the course. Okay. Then we're just going to start at this end. I'm on the left side of the truck at the moment. This is sort of a, what do you call that? What kind of shape is that? It's not a pentagon. Anyway, it's like a big rectangle with slopey sides. So it's narrower at the top than at the bottom. So make sure you have this the right way around. We're going to place this end. And you want to just be just in from all of the edges. But especially you want to be parallel on this edge here. Then we're going to peel this back a little bit. I think by now you've probably got the gist. So I'm going to steer it and place it. And then we're going to go back to that beginning section. I'm sorry I didn't put shoes on for this video recording. I'll try and remember to do that. It's such a hassle. I rarely wear shoes in the summer. I'm not a hippie, it's just a hassle. Okay, there we go. We're going to work our way along. So I've got a bubble here, so I'm going to take the time now just to release that. I'm going to roll this back. I'm going to place this. I'm pulling on it just a little bit, as you can see, hopefully. Squeegee what we have. Peel back another quarter or so. Place it. Squeegee it. Get rid of the rest. Okay, squeeze that down. Get that bit there. And there you have it. So that is how you install the complete trim kit for the Cybertruck bed. Thank you for watching.